All right, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, citizens of Utah. It's PastorDowell. The other day I was speaking to a friend of mine, and we were having a discussion. Now, he lives on another side on the other side of the country, and I live here. And we constantly, every once in a while, comes up in our topic of discussion about sickness, especially since, more than anything, news media, public sector, everything our government has an illusion that it's interested in our health care. You have to understand, health care, what they call health care, is so big, and people do not want people fooling around with their system. In case you hadn't figured out, do y'all realize how many people end up dead anytime they try to mess with Big Pharma, or they try to fool around and expose the FDA? I mean, people get concrete boots in this situation because there's so much money at stake. I try to speak to us, the American general populace. You really, truly, all of us, we need to see this for what it is. To them, we are peasants. Are y'all listening to me? I don't care if you don't like my speech or anything. You're going to have to come to reality. If you're not in these palaces that these folks in, if you're not running statehood and seeking what you call a higher status by becoming a congressman, a senator, or on the king's court, they call it a cabinet in this country, nothing new under the sun. I know I talk crazy. I talk crazy to a lot of people. If I did not have such a good grasp on certain portions of history, then if I click to this YouTube channel and I heard this man right here, I'll say, man, this man off his rock and chain. But since I know history, I see the mistakes that are being repeated again. I actually see the condition of we the people. And it's disturbing. It's literal disturbing what I see is in. Why do you think that the government always sends out its goon squad to go and now shut down people who have natural herb store? They bring in guns and SWAT teams on people who's producing milk from cows and selling milk, selling milk without their government stamp and approval. What is going on in this country? I keep telling y'all. I want you to listen to me. I'm going to say this again. I'm going to try this again. You cannot control a healthy population. Did I say anything to anyone out there? Did I make any sense whatsoever at all? Listen to me. If you keep people sick, and let me go through my D's here, you keep them dumb, news media. You keep them dormant within the confines of the perimeters you set. You keep them docile by taking these drugs that they say that's FDA approved for you. And demoralized, meaning that you literally have no hope whatsoever at all. What can we do? See what I mean? Dumb, dormant, docile, and demoralized. That's what we are as a people in this country. Well, Pastor Dow, what's the use then? What is the use then? Well, this is the use. When you are intelligent and you inform yourself, when you educate yourself, all this bizarre behavior that you see the masses, which are nothing but chattel and sheeple, all this attitude and the way that they do things, you would be one of an alternate conscious, and you could save yourself. The few is you yourself, meaning you and that what belongs to you. Save yourself. The few is both of y'all are, all of y'all are. And you could actually live a little bit different. The friend I was talking to, they go to Christian church, and 80% of the people that goes to this particular church are all on medications from the pharmacy, from the doctor. And then he asked me, how many people on medication where you go to assembly? I said, you really truly want to know? He said, yeah. I said, 0. Now, I'm saying all that to say this, because watch this. We've watched the government come down hard on people for hundreds of years. People have been milking cows and been living just fine, and haven't had all these sickness and diseases. Now all of a sudden the FDA, the EPA, all these government agencies, all of a sudden they are so concerned about us. Yet they spray us with chemical trails. They put pesticides, herbicides, and chemicals, GMO foods, modified. For what purpose? To keep you sick. You see, the nobles, they don't eat the same food as we do. The majority of the food you see on the shelf in those stores in there, them things are loaded. Now, if you're going to go and read labels, and I do recommend reading labels, but you can't trust those labels, guess who approved those labels? The very institution that is making you sick. I did some video a long time ago over, Wild Oats, and there's another, Trader Joe's and all like this. They found out that everything that's got the label organic actually wasn't organic at all. But guess what? Somebody's making a whole lot of Federal Reserve notes, though, aren't they? Well, watch this. Listen to this. Let's see how we doing fair on this one, all right? Before I read this short article, I'm going to say it again. You and you alone are responsible for your health. If we treat ourselves, if we treat ourselves better than what we do a vehicle that we possess and own that's going to transport us back and forth, you know how we could actually impoverish the FDA, the government, big pharma, if we just take it upon ourselves to learn. It's a learning curve. It's a learning curve. It is a great learning curve to actually know what edible plants to eat, what you should be taking, what you should be putting in your body on a daily basis, how you know you're getting the proper nutrition. It is. You go in the grocery store, you have what you call a live zone. That's the produce area. From that point on, all the way back, you have entered into the dead zone. Ooh. That's what you've done. The dead zone. And then we wonder why we're having digestive problems. We wonder why that we're having problems with high blood pressure, diabetes, bigger than more than anything. Because Americans are consuming too much sugar. And when it's not labeled as sugar, you're consuming too much high fructose corn syrup. Y'all listening? Let's try it again. Listen here. FDA approves of digestible microchips to be placed in pills. So there are a lot of people that are concerned about the mark of the beast and stuff. My question is, and I don't want to go because my mind gets to going and I'll be digressing, I'll be in all over many different places. But you think about this for a second. So let me see. No doubt this pills got to be made with some type of metals. But what lengths and to what extent have they gone to make microchips so small? They already put them in credit cards, but so small that you can stick them inside of one of these pills and you swallow it. And you know what the purpose of it is for? Because watch this. Your doctor is so concerned about you. That's what he is. He wants to be able to track and make sure that you are taking your medications. Well, I be damned. Just the other day, we had a sister from South Carolina call. And something was going on in her body. And when she went to go get this checked up to see what was going on, the doctor said this: where you been? How can I take care of you if you don't come in for your normal checkups and everything? I mean, what's going on? She says, well, I've been at my house. I've been at my job. Of course, the doctor's concerned. What You need to come for your checkups. You need to come for physicals. You need to come for so we can poke, prod, and do everything else. You dissect you and stick needles in you. You need to come so we can make sure that you're healthy. That one gets me every time. All right, so check this out. She says, well, one reason why I can't come because I ain't got no money to come. Now, if you want me to come and you pay for it, I'll be glad to let you poke, prod, stick, feel, all you want then. If you want me to comply with that, all of a sudden the doctor goes, and see, in other words, this system ain't thinking about giving you free health care. No, they want you to pay for being sick. And let me tell you something. With all the drugs we have here in America, if these drugs are really truly working, then guess what? Drugs would not be designed to manage your sickness, your disease, or illness. Guess what drugs would do? They would actually be there to cure it. The one thing about natural herbs, and it's a steep learning curve. Once you learn what natural herbs, the herb of the field for the service of man, once you learn the natural herbs and you get your body to a certain condition, you no longer have to continue to keep on taking these herbs in order to manage a disease or a sickness. But once you get on a pill from the FDA or this government, man, it breaks down other portions of your body. Now, listen, have you ever paid attention to them commercials? They'll tell you what this pill would do, and then they quickly throw in a disclaimer of they'll squeeze in 2 minutes of words in 10 seconds. Will kill you. Bleeding and ulcers. Blood out your rectum. Teeth falling out. I was like, what the world? Doggone it. I sat there and listened to them things. I said, is anybody listening to what these things are saying? In other words, if you take this could definitely be a reality of a possible real true side effects. You really truly want to take that stuff, ingest that stuff, and put that stuff into your body? Well, PastorDowell, how many drugs or pharmaceuticals that you're on? 0. Watch this. Let's get into it. I'm trying to sell this because at the same time, I believe in educating people. I believe in people knowing the truth. Now, I can't do nothing for you concerning the truth because in this country, we're so used to people who we say we trust and love, mostly, i.e. family members, who have made the same old dumb mistakes as the generation before them. And because they're family, you trust them just because they're family. Not that they're informed or educated, not they have done their own due diligence, their own independent research. They haven't done all that. It's just the way it's always been. The tradition, the way it's always been. Hallelujah. See, that's the problem today. I didn't follow that because when I looked at my natural family, I looked at my wife's side natural family, they all are sick as hell. By the time they get our age, man, them boogers are walking around on canes. Them boogers are in the doctor's office every week. You go to their house, they got prescription drugs lying all across the refrigerator and everything to make sure they take them. And they always complain about aches and pains and heart palpitations and they wake up, you pass by the room. What the hell is that? Dang God, what are these people doing? And you think that I want to follow in that same footsteps and that footprint? You think that I'm going to take your advice and do like you? I've always been an independent thinker. That's always been one of my strong points. It's to stand on my own 2 feet and use my mind. You can tell me something all day long. I won't argue with you. I won't even fuss. What I will do is I will go back and I will diligently do my own independent research. And it's real easy now that the information highway out here. And I will check to see what you're saying. And I'm going to actually follow what I believe to be the best results for me, obtainable results. Oh boy, here we go. FDA approves of digestible microchips to be placed in pills. Whoo. U.S. Food and Drug Administration, FDA, has approved the first ingestible sensor. The Ingestion Event Marker, IEM, by Protus Health, represents a new category of medical device. It is made entirely of ingredients found in food and is activated on ingestion. I don't believe that. How you going to make a chip out of food? Anyway, see, this call tell you what you want to hear. The FDA validation represents a major milestone in digital medicine. Directly digitizing pills for the first time in conjunction with our wireless infrastructure may prove to be the new standard of influencing medication adherence and significantly aiding chronic disease management. Say it again. Did I not just say it earlier? They're not trying to heal you. They're trying to manage what you've got. In other words, they're trying to make... what pills and drugs do is they mask the symptoms. And then masking that symptoms, they give you the illusion that you're okay and you're doing fine. But the body is still breaking down. It's still breaking down. That's why they are in disease management. And that's why they continue to keep practicing. And they practice on you. Oh boy. All right. But after all, don't get me wrong. You want to go to the doctor? Keep going. That may be the thing for you. I mean, I'm a firm believer in the Constitution. I am. I believe that you have a right to, in this body, to pursue happiness any way you want. So you want to go to the doctor? Go. I mean, it may be good for you. But I found out it's not good for me. It's really not good for me. But that doesn't mean what's good for me is good for you. Is that making sense? All right. There's an MD professor at genomics of the Scripps Research Institute in La Jolla, California, said in a company news release that Dr. Topol is the author of The Creative Destruction of Medicine, How the Digital Revolution Will Create Better Healthcare. No, it ain't. What's going to create better healthcare is you. You becoming educated. You burning the midnight oil. You being informed, because nobody's going to take care of you better than you. The sensor resembles a grain of sand in size and is made primarily of silicon. And can't wait. Whoa. I thought it was made of natural ingredients. Anyway, see, and I'm gonna stay the course. It can be integrated into the intrapill or any other ingestible object, such as pharmaceuticals. The Protus Digital Health Feedback System integrates wearable and ingestible sensor technology to detect medication intake and psychological data. Woo-wee! Psychological data. Let me tell you something. This I know for sure, because I'm a pastor. I deal with people all the time. There are a lot of people that are psychotic, chaotic, schizophrenic. I mean, but they're all running around in this country undiagnosed. I see it. I see the minds, the war, I see it. Believe you me, I see it all the time. And you're not going to tell these people that they're not functioning after an alternate conscious because they haven't been diagnosed. Think about this. So, man, we got a lot of mental health issues, especially in churches. Big time. Anyway, let me go on. See if I can pick up where I was. A disposable patch is worn on the body to capture and relax the body's psychological response and behaviors. In addition to recording information from the sensor, the patch records heart rate, temperature, activity, and rest patterns. The patches last approximately 7 days, and is operated by a battery, which also lasts 7 days. Now, how do we go from a pill to a digital patch? A mobile device is then carried in the pocket to pursue the data and contents to support care. And of course, you got to pay for every bit of this, right? I see what's going on. The sensor can be used to detect and extract time medication is taken, as well as unique identity of the medication. The information is controlled by the patient. The IEM does not contain a battery. Instead, the fluids from the stomach power the sensor. You mean acid like it does in batteries? And the body transmits a digital signal generated by the sensor. The IEM is the only ingestible sensor that is powered by the body. The sensor passes through the body similar to fiber. The system is used to be known as the Raisin system, received European regulatory approval in August 2010. The technology has been used for thousands of days by patients in clinical trials without serious adverse events. The system does not appear to interfere with any other medical devices. Protest Digital Health does not quantify the price, but rather states on their website, the cost would depend on the context in which the system is being used. Anyway, it's out there. And this is actually an old one. They actually just come out with a new one here, January 3rd, 2017. You and you alone. You're responsible for your spirituality. You're responsible for your own body, taking care of it, and you're responsible for, this is a sad thing right here. Suppose that you follow this system and do everything that it says, and you never ever think independently. You never ever have an original thought. Do you know that the way you believe and the way you think, you're going to pass that on to your children? Why do you think they always want us all in these government training programs called public schools? Because they want to be able to shape us and mold us after their mindset. People are called intelligent because they can do exactly the way that the system is. This system is set up before we fell out our mother's womb. We fell into this world, and this world's still going at breakneck speed. And the agenda is we want to make a bunch of mind-numb, mindless, sick individuals so there will be no resistance whatsoever at all. We can't stand these people who exercise self-autonomy because they think too much. They read too much. I mean, if you ever get an opportunity to come in my house, all you're going to see is bookshelves. You're going to see books. And those books are not just sitting there for theater. Because those books get used quite often. Even right behind me. Look, nothing but books, 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 books. You see what I mean? And that doesn't mean that everything that is written in books is true. It's not. No, the majority of it is nothing but what the Senate calls pork. We're doomed. We're doomed as a people because you got people now arguing with you who think that they're really, truly informed. And they really think they know the truth, but they've done no due diligence in anything whatsoever at all. Now, we're living in a time now that if you do start questioning the system, that people make you evil. They call you a conspiracy theorist. That's where it is. So this reverse psychology is coming even as far as our own backyards. Well, anyway, I hope I said something I've said plenty of things. I know I have said plenty of things in this video. Hopefully you can exercise some self-autonomy and start thinking for once in your life instead of being told what to think by advertisement. Thoughts popping up in your head. Why do you think they advertise you half to death when you're watching TV? Because as soon as you go to the store, they bing, ooh, Twilight Zone. Ooh. All of a sudden, you go in the store and you buy stuff. You get home. I don't need that. I don't even need that really. And you just put it on the shelf anyway because they mind control. Ooh. Have a good weekend.